you guys were given quarters to rest. So yeah, okay, that's where we're at. Let me know when we're ready to start streaming.
Oh, I started
Let
when
us
you
also
started.
know when we're allowed to talk, because I don't want to talk.
Cool. Yeah, no, you're not allowed to talk where you're at. So welcome in anyone who's watching. I doubt there's anyone, but hey, whatever. Or YouTube people, whatever. Been a minute, but we are back. A little bit of turbulence in personal lives. Some things shifting and moving, so we were out for a little bit. But hey, now we're back, and we're gonna be doing 5e for a little bit. Because Jacob's a loser.
Okay, I'm working.
So let's see. So last time we left off in 5e, we had just finished the funeral of Brother Thule. The second funeral, the cool funeral, with silence and basically naked barbarian Vatican Marines. Is basically what that was. So you all were given quarters to stay in, unless there's anything you're doing specifically there that night. The morning comes. Yeah, the morning is yours. There's food provided. No one expects you to stay, but I mean, whatever. They're not shoving you out the door either.
I have no particular reason to stay, so guess we'll eat and kind of pull out a notebook and scribble out a note, kind of pass it out to the rest of the party at the table, saying, "So we leaving today?"
I'd say yes.
Do you say yes?
Wait, what?
We're still in the hall place.
I'm still hungry. He asked if we're leaving. What?
We're still okay. She's not been paying attention. Can you repeat pretty much everything?
I have been paying attention. I wasn't here when we finished the last of this.
Y'all
she
are
has-
in a super special temple monastery area that has had a multi-thousand year vow of silence that has not been broken, and is also the home of the particular order of barbarians that Thule was a part of. He was laid to rest here during a second burial. He was actually, like, the body was buried in this area. You guys stayed the night. You are all eating breakfast. You are still within the halls of this sacred place of silence.
And that's why
Kendrick
I wrote
has to
All
know.
of it,
Yeah,
everything.
that's why I passed a note instead of.
So, like, the whole place, everywhere is silent?
Yeah,
Yes.
like inside the walls is silence.
Okay.
And
Then obviously I don't say anything.
Okay, just double checking, because apparently last time Magir was super duper tempted to speak, or rather, should I say, Josh was.
Josh was, yes, absolutely.
So any response to the note?
You got a shrug.
Magir doesn't even look at the note. He's
Guess with
busy
a thumbs
eating.
up,
I'll give a thumbs up.
all right. So I guess we'll start packing after we're done eating.
Yeah, you finish
So
up
that being
breakfast.
said, we're leaving there probably with McGear probably whenever they serve the last meal, because he's probably gonna stay there for every meal and stay there constantly.
I
mean,
mean,
you have
there's a
morning meal?
natural order of things, and Magir's going with the flow. But there's also, if there's food put in front of him, he takes full advantage of that. So just, my priority
There
is
is
on the
morning
food.
meal that everyone shows up for at like 5:30 in the morning. That is porridge. There is a noon meal that is like a handful of nuts and berries served at noon, and there is an evening meal served at like 8 o'clock at night, just before everyone says final prayers and goes to bed. That is another bowl of porridge. That's your monastery meals here. Like that's it.
All right. Seems to me like it's time to start moving then.
So if Magir wants to stay until the final meal is served, it's gonna be like 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah. I was mostly just making a joke, but yeah. We're rolling.
I'm just
heading
staying
back
with the
down
group.
the road.
All right, y'all start rolling. Back to where you going?
Well, as we're going down the road, so I was thinking we're released out again to do whatever. We have ideas, but I was
You haven't had the
thinking,
ceremony yet.
uh,
Sorry.
yeah, so we have to go
No,
back to the.
you attended the funeral. You have a ceremony that they're gonna do at some point, and then you'll be released again.
Then, once we are
This is not where we
released
left
once
off.
more,
We left off talking to the old guy who gave us the information that we could either go to the bottom of the ocean or to the mountains.
So I
I
think we
thought
established that had happened before you guys went to the funerals, because like you already have the information. Either way, we'll just say that that happened before the funerals because we already started here.
Okay.
If not, it's been retconned to that order of business. Either way, you
Okay.
guys have the information. You attended a funeral first before any ceremonies to go out into the world.
Okay.
I say we go to Chilling again, hit up the libraries. We have a new mission, of course, assigned by my father. Well, less assigned and more we co-opted ourselves into, but we can look into that and possibly some of our other issues again, now that we have a bit more information on them.
Maybe we can find out more about creation of these bags of holding as well. Having one for each person would be convenient.
Possibly. Well, if we're actually going there, might as well look up as much as we can.
Sounds good to me.
We'll go ahead and spur on Mandarb and try to head a little bit farther and just start moving faster.
Cool. Where are y'all heading?
Well, the
Uh,
only road out of here leads back down
is
south
there
again.
Yeah,
is
but like before I start doing anything, what is your ultimate destination?
we are going to the library and chilling.
Is there what?
there a connection to the library share program here in Vatica?
Um, not as far as you know. Yeah, not as far as you know.
To our knowledge, the only way to get there is on foot.
Heard on we're not high enough level to access this feature.
I'm gonna go
So,
ask before
Do
we
we
go.
have to go to the ceremony then?
You are supposed to go to that ceremony. That is a you are supposed to go thing. Yes, I mean it's for you. It's literally to
suppose
commission you
we'll-
to go out into the world again.
To the ceremony.
Suppose we'll head back to Vatica then for that if we're supposed to go there, unless anybody
Okay.
has objection.
Yeah, it's fine. I just want to make sure that like while we're there, I want to check in with the library or people who know the library. I'm not quite sure of how to go about that because I'm supposed to know this as the guy who lived there the entire time.
Okay, so what are you wanting to check about the library?
So basically, the whatever one that was not chilling had a portal to chilling for a book sharing program, and they were connected to
Yep.
the other libraries. I am trying to figure out if Vatica
Help you.
has any sort of connection to that so that quicker travel can be ascertained for that purpose.
Okay, yeah, no, you can definitely ask your supervisor once you get
Cool.
back to town. Yeah, that's the thing you can do. All right, so y'all strike back towards Vatican City. Takes you, close to a week to get there. When you guys
On
arrive,
horseback?
I said close to. You're a little shy of a week on horseback. You're like 5 days.
No, that one doesn't. This one.
Kedron, it is 2 days until your birthday.
Oh, it's 2
The
days until
ceremony will be happening the Sunday after your birthday. Right now it is August 13th. August 15th is your birthday. So
Kedron
and then
either does not bring it up, doesn't make a deal out of it, although I imagine somebody will when he gets back.
Probably.
Hey,
We'll get
this
there.
was going to be
All
his
right,
second
y'all come
birthday.
rolling back into town. No, that would be Ilara's second birthday, which we already blew past during the several months in between. Oh yeah, Ilara, your birthday happened again, even though it just happened at one point in that time between,
Hey, I
which is
mean,
a
you
little
can
weird.
twice. It's
Because
fine.
time travel.
You know what to
Okay.
celebrate?
Anyways, y'all come rolling back into Vatican. Right, right. Y'all come rolling back into Vatican City. No big fanfare or anything. Y'all are just coming back. Kedron, as soon as you get to your house, which I'm assuming you guys are all staying there again.
How we've been doing it.
That's why I'm asking. You guys start coming in. Your mother is partway down the dual like wraparound staircase that is in every rich boy mansion home. You know the one I'm talking about.
Wraps around two sides and comes down to one central.
No, not one central. Like it just kind of comes down, and there's like the little walk-through area in the middle of it. It's just the grand staircase. She's about halfway down it, one hand on the banister, one hand holding a crystal flute because she is a socialite, and those stereotypes hold true even here. And she goes, "Oh, Kedron, you're back. What are we doing this year for your birthday? I was thinking a hero soiree. All of the top generals, uniforms, all the eligible young ladies. Maybe you'll finally find a wife this time around. Oh, I'm so excited. I've already been planning it. Colors, though. Colors. What colors are we doing? I know your favorites are black and red, but maybe we could do something a little different this year. Maybe blue. I have no idea if that's actually your favorite colors. She just thinks they are.
Kedron normally goes with like the gold, blue and gold sort of thing as far as.
Some reason she has it in her head that black and red is your favorite color. Maybe you said it once when you were 5,
Yeah.
and she is just stuck with it.
Oh, we're doing another one of these, aren't we?
Well, of course, it's your birthday, darling. And of course, all of your little friends are invited. You're all invited, lovelies. It would be my pleasure to host you all here again.
Oh my goodness, Kedron, you didn't let us
Mother,
know.
we'll go with whatever you, see fit to do.
Oh, thank you. And we will be attending.
Of
Excuse me?
course.
She's asking all of your friends if they will be attending.
Absolutely. I
Nah,
appreciate the invite.
nah, I'm not big on
I kind of
parties.
look over at Kedron and give him that knowing smirk. And I'm sure
I'm
Kedron kind
actually
of
gonna
is
lean.
you're getting food out of this.
I'm gonna wait for her to get distracted talking about like going over. Oh, we're gonna do this and this, and I'm kind of lean down over by McGear and Alara and say, "It's totally best just to tell her whatever you want, Mother, because she ends up with that anyway." Yeah.
She's nice about it, at least.
She tries to make it something that I would want, but she gets so caught up in it
Yeah.
that
Hello.
Oh, and hola. You all just got back to Kedron's house, and you were all invited to his birthday party that his mom's throwing for him.
So what?
Yeah. Kedron's birthday is in like 2 days, and she's planning a big soiree, and you have all been invited by his mom. And while you're whispering this to them, she goes, "Oh, and of course, darling, I'll set you all up with the house tailor so you can have some appropriate attire. Kedron, I know you have something. You can just go get dressed. The rest of you, though, fittings. We'll get you all fitted for appropriate clothing."
This
What's wrong
excites
with
me.
my fur?
I've lost weight through this journey. Some of it in just missing skin, but that's besides the point.
Oh yes, yes. Maybe a high collar for you. Yes, I think that very much.
Question is, how are you gonna hide your giant spot in the middle of your head?
I have my hair's grown out a little bit, and it covers it. And I've also done other stuff to cover the eye. And people with eye injuries is not uncommon for them to be covered.
I mean, that's true. He just has a large eye patch that also covers a spot on his forehead, like the sash of it that he can wear.
Is Will planned
I
ahead?
think I'm gonna go with something
I mean, those aren't hard to get, to be fair.
reminiscent of the uniforms from Stormlight, except go with kind of like that cut, but kind of dressed up with black and crimson embroidery.
Basically, what I'm getting at is over the next few days, you all get to add fine clothes to your inventory.
And I'm role
Um,
playing and describing what it looks like.
absolutely. You guys can or cannot. Either way, that's up to you. It is in your inventory as provided by House D'Artenan specifically for this party, but you all get to keep it.
What if I already?
McGear's yours specifically has a high collar.
What if I already have?
I
fine
appreciate
clothes?
that.
You get two. You have another set now. She just straight up gives you a set of very nice fine clothes.
Yeah, sort of the almost like military uniform feeling kind of thing with thorns up embroidered up kind of the arms and into crimson roses that are embroidered in. It's like a thorn and rose embroidery across it.
Very nice. Any particulars for the rest of y'all, or just fine clothes?
I'm so fancy. You don't even know.
Um, yeah, I mean, I've got a pretty fancy dress, I suppose. Probably like a red one with gold trim.
Very nice. Iron Cloak, you said you're not going. You still get the clothes because
Oh
she
no,
already forgot that you said you're not going.
I was joking. I will 100% go.
Okay. Like she took you serious, but then completely forgot that you said you weren't going and just set you up with an appointment for the tailor. Maj, a little extra fabric is needed, especially from them long boy arms you got.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you could straight up be a bugbear in a tuxedo if you want. Like,
I mean, you're no longer a naked boy, so that's one thing.
yeah, you actually do wear clothes now.
I'll be styling. Can I have a bow tie?
Absolutely.
Yes.
The
Bow
dude
ties are
hooks
cool.
you up with a bow tie.
Is it bad that I described my fancy clothes in more detail than our resident girl?
I mean, to be expected for you.
Hey, I do
You
get
are
into
a
the
prima
role
donna.
play of the aesthetic, all right? Aesthetic is king.
Okay, until you start making art of it, it's whatever.
See, the
Or
fun
anybody
thing
watching
is
wants
that
to make fan art and
mine
send it to
naturally
us.
billows in the wind because of prestidigitation, and you're lame.
So y'all have 2 days to do whatever you want. Hang out, eat food. I don't know. Go to the gun
Go to the
range.
quartermaster and switch out my short bow for a long bow.
Done. McGear, you go to your supervisor and ask about any sort of transportation options. The person that you ask, which is the next rank above you, just kind of looks at you and goes, "Oh yes, I've heard of the book exchange program through that library with the other one, but no, we don't provide any sort of transportation options here for our librarians. It's to be fair, it's magic, so a little heretical, you know. Not like our miracles, of course. Nothing like that. Holy rights. Anyways,
It is pretty miraculous to go from one spot to another nearly instantaneously.
it is if that's what the Allfather wishes, rather than using the power of the devil to bend nature. Anyway, no, we don't. We don't have anything like that here.
Okay.
So yeah, no luck there. Um,
There, there is some component stuff I need for a couple of my spells.
okay, such as
I gotta pull up the spell, but it's the clairvoyance I need a crystal eye and then a like crystal horn. I think both are worth 100 each.
Cool.
and
You
I'm trying
pull those up and send me the stuff for it, and we'll talk about it once you do that.
Did did we leave Vatica when we went up to?
No, you were in Vatica the whole way.
If I remember correctly, they don't have banks in Vatica, right?
No, but the banks just
Unfortunate.
outside of Vatica do offer a special political and religious refugee program. Totally not aimed at Vaticanites leaving.
Do we get close to any of the
There is a
borders on the way
giant
out?
wall that runs around the
Got it.
entirety of the
Okay.
country, and also no, the road you follow goes straight through
Ah.
the heart of Vatica.
Unfortunate. Okay.
So cool. 2 days go by. Anything that happens in that we can probably handle retroactively, unless it's like world-shattering stuff that needs to be handled. But short of that, Kedron, it's your birthday.
Yay!
Yay! It's your
I'm what,
birthday.
20 now?
I don't know. That's a you thing.
I believe I was 19 when we started, if I'm not
So
mistaken.
probably. That means you go downstairs and your mother is all flitting around and getting last minute things ready, and by that I mean directing the staff to do it and mostly just holding a crystal goblet of champagne as she bosses people around. There is breakfast, of course. Everyone is there. Oh, honey, you're up. Perfect. So, people start arriving this afternoon. Of course, the soiree doesn't start proper until this evening. However, I have arranged for a few eligible women to have luncheon with you. Maybe one of them goes to the soiree with you. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Oh yeah,
Is
your
McGee
mom's
there?
been trying to marry you off for like the past 3 birthdays. Yeah, Big Gear's totally there.
Mother, I'm not sure how
He-
long any sort of, you know, possible engagements might last when I'm sent out in the world to not be seen for who knows how long.
Oh nonsense, darling. Nonsense. Believe me, here's a little secret. Distance makes the heart grow fonder. All right? Freedom when the husband's gone, and then he comes back, and it's all happiness and love because he's back, and then he leaves again, and then we're running the house again. It's great. Don't worry about it. They'll love it.
What was
Don't tell
what?
your
Okay,
mother.
what is the setting that we're in currently? If McGear's in this right now,
Breakfast.
Yeah,
Breakfast.
breakfast. Like
Oh,
y'all are eating
okay.
breakfast while her mom is like flitting around.
So as I'm like taking a bite of like my omelet, I kind of go, kind of like swallow it. It's like, Kedron, who is your friend that you had earlier when we were here? The shorter one.
Oh, yes. You mean, darn it, I always forget it. I have it in my notes, but I left my notebook. Let me pull up my
I got
other
it. Hold
notes.
on.
I write freaking letters to her. I can't... Laura? Was that it?
Yeah, Laura Sanford.
Yeah, Laura. You mean Laura Sanford?
Yeah, you two seem sweet on each other. Goes right back to omelet. Kind of smirks to himself like he's accomplished something.
I'm just not going to say anything, and I'm expecting my mother will probably say something
She looks over at you and raises her eyebrows.
at me.
Kind of gives a little
Raise her eyebrow at me or McGear.
you. Just like a Not the
Uh,
only one who sees it.
Mother, we've been friends for ages, and trust me, every time you and her parents try to set us up, she teases me for it for days. Not that I really care, but it's pretty obvious she has no interest in such things. So.
I know.
McGear like swallows another
However,
bite, then just take her. Goes back to another bite.
you remember Agara Samosan? She's coming for lunch, and she's one of them. So you know, like the middle school popular girl or high school popular girl that just never grew out of that phase. Yeah, that's her. That's Agira.
Laura's worst enemy.
Yeah, the polar opposite of Laura.
Lovely. I suppose there'll be
And a
two
few of
halves
her
to this
friends, of
party,
course.
huh?
She said, and a few of her friends, of course, are coming for luncheon. It's very casual, no expectations except for mine.
I'm going to be putting out. I'm just like kind of under my breath. I'm going to be putting out fires. Not
So the
sure if
day
she heard
continues.
me, but it was like under my breath, not meant
She
to be
doesn't
heard.
acknowledge it. Just put it that way. Day continues on, barring anything else of interest from the lot of y'all. Luncheon comes around. Agira arrives. She is a high elf individual, black hair, like all curled up and bouncy, and
Before
um,
that happens, I'm gonna walk over to Alara. She may seem nice at first, and she's gonna try to make friends with you because you're in the spotlight with the rest of us at the moment. Bad idea. And just walk away.
cool.
Any acknowledgement from Alara?
I was making the kids' food. What's up?
So, what was the last thing that you heard?
I've been upstairs for a few minutes. I did not hear the party.
All right, talking about the party, the birthday party. My mother said she invited a few people over, young women that she hoped I would, strike up a conversation with. One of them was, have you seen Mean Girls?
No.
Do you know what it is?
Yes.
She's one of those, and I kind of slid up beside you and said, "She's gonna try to make friends with you because you're in the spotlight, but just bad idea," and just walked away.
I'm just gonna kind of blink and squint and roll my eyes.
Cool.
Yeah, Brian described
Luncheon.
her as the popular girl in middle school that never quite grew out of that.
Yep.
Yeah. So as I was saying, high elf, very pretty, black hair that's kind of curly, like it's done up in curlers, not like it's naturally curly. Um, Curlers have been taken out. Obviously, this isn't a trailer park or Walmart. In a very simple, pretty white dress, with two of her friends, which Kedron you recognize as Louise Tamer and one Gretchen Bolander. Um, they're her posse. They kind of go with her everywhere. Um, Gretchen's the pretty one of the two, though, despite the name. Anyways, they come in. They are shown in. The luncheon has already been set up and arranged. You are already there. Whether or not the rest of the crew is entirely up to them.
Is there anything better to do?
Yeah, why not?
As I'm like walking past, I'm gonna look at kind of glance at the group if they're wandering around and be like, just mouth help, just like not say it but like mouth it.
It's a good thing that
They make
McPherson
their
is
entrance.
oblivious to these things
I'm there.
and like sits down next to Gretchen.
Hello, you're McGee, right? I've heard so much about you. The brave hero.
That is me. And what is the pleasure of hearing your name?
My name is Gretchen Bolander. Pleasure to meet you. Meanwhile, Agira makes straight for Kedron.
Oh, I get it. Isn't it just lovely to see you again?
Oh, Kedron, lovely to see you again. I do so miss the times that we used to spend together, and I find myself. It's just not the same without you around. It's always
Kedron
been
just
good.
has a flashback to all the times his mother set up like play dates as children,
She was
and they were
terrible to
all
you.
dreadful. They were all just dreadful.
Oh, absolutely. Um, let me put it this way: she a gold digger, and you gold right now. So,
Not nice when we're kids, but now that I'm, she's old enough to acknowledge, oh, I got connections.
yep. Hey, Alara, where are you at during this?
Alara is sitting somewhat near Ketrin to try to kind of like be a part of things and like be connected to everyone, but also like kind of stay separate.
She's a proximity shield.
So, Kedrin, are you going to introduce me to your friends?
Oh, of course. As I believe McGee had actually just introduced himself. McGee Payne. He is one of the keepers.
Pleasure.
We have Elara Vera. She is of the Rangers.
Yes, I think I saw your parents at the last ceremony. Ah, being a soldier, so brave. Good on you for making something of yourself, despite where you come from.
Quite
Oh,
excellent at your job and stands above even some of the most renowned of the leading families in such roles.
very impressive.
Father Ironcloak.
Pleasure.
Charmed.
And
Louise is a dwarf, and she is eyeing you up and down like a piece of meat.
I'm gonna look around and like try to look for Maja. I believe there was another around here somewhere. He must not have joined us for the for the moment. So perhaps introductions later.
about the time they walked in, it was about when he walked off to the restroom.
I mean, makes sense. Okay, so that's how the luncheon goes, barring any like personal conversations you guys want to have. They're definitely trying to get into your good graces. These are socialites seeking a way to progress themselves to gain status and standing, and they are going for it.
I'm like engaging in conversation, but also like completely oblivious to the like socialite type of it. Type
Oh
of
yeah.
I go full socialite, just being polite because I have to mode.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's yeah. She
Make-
keeps trying to drop hints about um how successful her family is in the hopes of a political marriage, basically. At this point. Miguel, what was that?
I was gonna say that like McGear starts initially trying to figure out stuff in general. I don't know anything about Gretchen. Maybe she does research or something on the side that's interesting. And
So
then
you ever see like a very thin sheet of water across the pavement? Like not
She's Daddy's
even
little
a
rich girl
quarter inch thick. That's about how deep her personality is.
she's just Daddy's pretty little rich girl.
Yeah.
wait. So like your average teenage white person.
Yeah. Her whole
she's gotten by on pretty
personality
much her
is that
family's
she's
wealth and
rich.
beauty alone.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
right. McGear just kind of like mentally sighs, is like, a Neanderthal, a pretty one, but a
Uh
Neanderthal.
Iron Cloak. As you are talking specifically to Louise, she expresses a very heavy interest in botany, of all things. Like you mentioned something about flowers, and like she goes from this vapid, shallow person to eyes light up. She starts nerding out for like 10 seconds and then starts to get embarrassed and tries to switch back and pretend like that never happened. So whether or not you encourage that is up to you.
I mean, flowers are pretty cool, but I don't. It's flowers.
Well, it's not just flowers. Like she started talking about different plants and genetics and
What?
breeding plants and
She goes full botanist. Wow.
yeah, and then she like stops and looks super embarrassed because that is not her friend circle
Okay.
that she feels like she has to fit into.
You
And
say that, but you gotta admit, the pretty girl talking to Father Ironcloak about like fancy botany stuff, and his response is "flowers are cool" is still hilarious.
that encourages her just enough to keep going.
I mean, you know, if we get on the topic of wheat and barley and, you know, all
So
that.
when you start bringing that up, she then begins talking to you about how her current project is trying to get a wheat strain with a higher sugar content so that it brews better.
Now that would be my jam.
After about 10 minutes of you guys talking, kind of towards the end of the luncheon, um, Agira does happen by
Oh,
and
hi
go,
guys.
"Oh, Louise, is she talking about her silly little plants again?"
Well, I mean, actually, we were talking about like how this strain of barley she's working on, like we could make better beer that would like taste better.
Oh, and then like you just see in her eyes another nerd. Okay.
Well, Father Ironcloak is a bit of a brewer, so it's actually quite the pertinent conversation for the two of them.
Yes, of course, Kedrin, of course, yes. About that time, Maja comes in as the luncheon is finishing, and he has missed all of this by being in the bathroom.
Yeah, so the way the
He
gear
was enjoying the fancy toilets.
I would not go in there if I were you.
Another one of your friends, Kedrin.
Actually, a new addition to our group, Marja. I have yet to learn much about him, but seems like a fair individual.
Well, thank you for the luncheon, and I look forward to this evening. Girls, I think it's time to go.
As they
That
leave, I turn to Marja.
depart.
Marja, as untactful as that entrance was, I must thank you because I think it may have saved us.
Agira just kind of pries Luis out of the room. She finally found someone to talk to about plants.
So what I do is I took out my notebook because this shallow personality got quickly like distracted by everything else going on because everything I tried to say made her glaze over.
She did
So
talk about herself a lot. Conversation wasn't a problem as long as you let her talk about herself.
oh yeah, it was incredibly easy actually. It's almost like I have a psychology degree or something. I don't know. Anyways, just oh yes. And what about this? Continue to like take some of my notes from flowers from our travels and just be like, yeah, this will be helpful. And then it's just like, oh, look at the time. Here, maybe you could study this a little bit.
Father Ironcloak, I think you made the discovery of the century.
And I passed
Yeah,
it
as
to
she's being
Louise so
pulled
that
out,
she's
Louise starts flipping through it, and joy. Pure joy.
Yeah. But after they're gone, I'm gonna look to Father Ironcloak. Father Ironcloak, I believe you made the discovery of a century. You discovered that one of the three cockatiel sisters actually has some sort of depth to her.
Cocktail sisters, I like it. Thought it was gonna be cockatrice for a minute because those are the murder chickens, but I like the
Yeah.
direction you went in.
Cockatiel, just pretty but
Yep.
annoying.
Yep.
I mean, she knew her stuff, and I'd be mighty happy to get my hands on some of that there barley.
Yeah, the barley.
Does
Yeah, the
Father
barley.
Ironcloak seem a little bit flustered?
No, 100% just the barley.
The evening comes. It is the most high society party that high society ever high society. We're talking generals with their chest full of medals that they didn't really earn because Vatican hasn't been at war in like millennia. They
she
still
cut
have
the
them.
standing at your post award.
Yeah, right. Like a lot of times, and then like one of them has like a distinguished honor medal or whatever, and they're like, "How did you get?" No, it doesn't matter. You were just awarded it. Basically, think the North Korea medals that they got for doing nothing except for being generals. A little
And
less
you have that
ostentatious, but
one elf that is like near to on their deathbed that actually has seen something,
yes,
but he's so far gone he can't tell you any of the stories.
he is in a wheelchair. He is bald. He is very frail. This is a mighty old elf, and he is the last surviving person to have actually seen combat in all of Attica.
True honor.
Mad respect from everyone.
Yeah.
Barring like you guys now,
What's his name?
apparently. Oldie McOldface. I don't know. Quick, give me an elven name.
Jeff.
Done.
Caravir.
Huh?
He's what?
I said Caravir, but
Caravir. I like it. Go with it.
Jeff Caravir. You called it. I'm making it happen now. It's Jeff.
hey, I made him up. I figured I could at least help a little bit.
Thank you. There we go. Yes, he is there. The most high society of high society soirees. The Cockatiel crew does show up. Father Ironcloak, you were immediately sought out once again. And McGear, you're thanked by the same person, Luis. But yeah, no, she immediately starts nerding out again with Father Ironcloak because she found someone to talk to.
I mean, I'm down to nerd out over, I guess, flowers and beer now. So that's a thing.
Yeah, you are nerding out about both of it and how flowers relate to beer. And she's like, "Yo, if you could get the smell of flowers infused into the beer, imagine the flavor profiles you could build." Right? It's a whole thing.
At what point does it switch over to fruit strains for mead? For infusing
That would be
mead.
one. I mean, yeah, totally can.
I mean-
like it.
Well,
it
yeah, you can infuse fruits into
Yeah.
mead when you use
Yes,
the honey.
but
Also,
mead is
the
gross.
best flowers to expose the bees to make the best honey for the mead.
Oh yeah, like it. She's not a beekeeper. That's
and
somebody else.
And see, but mead is basically wine, and wine is gross.
Meat is
some good
delicious.
But I am a dwarf, and so it is. If it is not Gutbuster, I don't want it.
All right then.
So, yeah, just whatever you try to do tonight, you will be followed by Luis Tamir.
I mean, I am down to just talk about mead.
What are the rest of you all doing during this high society of high society nights? There's dancing, of course. It is the very stiff, straight-backed dancing. There's food. McGear, I know where you're at.
So McGear's actually going to go do
There's
something
those little
a slight out of character. So yes, absolutely food, but for once, he's actually going to like be aware of his surroundings and actually try to like learn a little bit about high society. And it's just like, if I were to ever retire, money's a great tool. How do I like? What do they have that I don't aside from like books?
Money.
Okay.
Cool. There's gonna be a check for that. For
Rapid
learning
pointless
things.
conversation.
Right. Give me a general intelligence check for like comparing the behaviors you're used to their behaviors and drawing conclusions.
Would this be an intelligence, or would this be like a charisma? Because it's like socializing and such.
He's doing it academically right now. When he tries to put it in practice, that will be charisma.
All right.
Right now is the study. Putting into practice will be charisma, and how he rolls on here will determine.
That's a save. I don't need to do a save. I need to do a straight intelligence.
Yeah, what was your number, and just take off your save modifier.
Well, it's natural 5, so.
So 5 plus your intelligence modifier of
4.
It's a 9. Take some notes. You think you see some things. Like that fancy hat. Definitely need a fancy hat. And it has some feathers in it. Extra feathers, extra fancy? Maybe.
I don't know high society.
What's
Yeah,
Alara
right?
doing?
Laura,
Yeah.
is that what he said? I am actually going to dance with some people, probably, if they ask me to.
Oh yeah, a few do. Specifically soldiers, like generals and stuff. They're quite enamored with you. The fact that you've risen so quickly in the exploits that you've made, along with a few high society dudes that are basically the male versions of the cockatiel triplets.
I'm gonna probably make every now and again. You see me saddle up really close and seem like I'm talking to you, or like just in vicinity. And if you, depending on how well your passive perception is, it's every time one of the cockatiel sisters tries to approach me.
Wow, so you're using me.
I
Okay.
apologize, but I figured you would understand.
Dang, don't even ask her to dance. Just use her as a shield.
I'm hurt inside, but I don't say anything.
Fine then. Would you like to
Oof.
dance? No answer. All right then. I will hide somewhere else then.
No, I said you could.
Oh, I didn't hear anything. So, yeah, you are helping me out. I am trying to avoid the cockatiel sisters at all costs.
Fair enough. I don't blame you.
Where is Laura?
I haven't seen her yet. Brian hasn't said anything.
I mean, she's around. She's trying her best not to be, but she is.
Playing the same game I am, where she just like every now and again sidles up to somebody when somebody tries to approach her.
I mean,
And
she
pretend
dances
like
with a
she's
few
talking.
people. She legitimately dances with some people. She
Just make
like
yourself see
gets in
her.
court. Yeah, like she's not hiding necessarily. She's just trying to avoid too much interaction with
Cool.
the annoying
Once she
people.
actually makes it over to my side of the area where I'm, staying close to food, as I'm taking my notes and stuff, I ask her, like, quite pointedly, of just like, I don't understand the fancy stuff. Can you attempt to explain?
Yeah, let me see your notebook real quick. So she looks at the notes you've taken and sees the extra feathers equals extra fancy question mark, and she goes, "Absolutely. The more feathers, the bigger and the brighter colors, the fancier it is. The bigger the hat helps too."
Why?
I don't know. It's some strange tradition. Something to do with in the olden days, sticking a feather in your cap had something to do with some sort of military victories. Uh, Specifically, probably against the Aarakocra. We're not sure. Um, but that was kind of taken literally, and then eventually it trickled down into more feathers equals more fancy. You can make an insight check if you want to, if you
Absolutely.
believe Magir would.
I
Cool.
mean,
We make a
he's
deception
trying to
check for
learn, and like he's not completely an idiot when it comes to like people trying to make fun of him.
insight 16. Cool. Seems like she's telling the truth.
Cool. So, how does one blend into this more readily? Because under the assumption that our journeys remain fruitful, I will end up around this more than I necessarily feel comfortable with, and I would rather, at least appearance-wise, appear more
You have
comfortable.
you have two options. Practice, or you see them over there, and she points over to a corner where there are like 5 or 6 individuals just kind of standing around, looking very awkward. Kind of chatting amongst themselves. A couple of the high-end keepers are there. Or you be like them and go stand in the corner.
Yee. As much as I respect them, I don't want to be them.
Practice. Try talking to people. Try putting down the notebook and speaking. Here, like this, and grabs you and pulls you out onto the dance floor.
Nice.
Like she doesn't ask, she just grabs you and yoits you onto the floor with her.
All right.
Maj, what are you
As,
doing this evening?
Enjoying the food
Fair.
and the spectacle.
As we're
Uh,
dancing Oh yeah, as we're
Good.
dancing on the floor, if we pass each other, I'm gonna turn my head towards McGear. Whatever she tells you, don't trust her. I'm gonna make sure
Yeah,
she hears too.
you do pass. Kedron is dancing with Alara, and Magir is dancing with Laura, and you just whoop, right past each other.
Yeah, I say it loud enough that Laura can hear too.
She just rolls her eyes at you.
So you said whatever she tells me is a lie?
Don't trust her.
Oh, don't trust her. I just shrug.
Which I mean, it was mostly a joke because I said it, made sure to say it loud enough she could hear. But however you take it is however you take it.
I mean, I trust you. I have no reason to not to. So unless you're saying it sarcastically, I just assume you're telling the truth.
There was a bit of sarcasm on it, but it's up to you
Okay,
whether you
then
pick it up or
I
not.
will take it at face value then.
So go ahead, Ironclaw.
I forgot who I was talking to about alcohol
Luis.
and Louise. If she's willing, I'd like to learn how to dance because I've been to enough of these fancy gatherings now that I feel like knowing how to dance might be useful at some point.
Oh, she absolutely jumps on the bandwagon of teaching you.
While continuing to talk about
Yes.
beer and flowers, but
She doesn't care what else y'all do as long as like she can
I
nerd out
feel
about
like
plants. She's good.
McGear and Father Ironcloak need to make dex checks to see if they break their partner's toes.
Definitely Ironcloak. Hey Magir, what's your experience with dancing?
I'm trying to think. We've had a couple balls so far that we've attended in some form or fashion, and I've watched people, and I think I've attended or I've participated twice, and on the younger.
Yeah, just go ahead and give me a check.
Okay.
Although
okay.
the question is,
Dex
Alara,
save
do you
or
need
dex
to make
roll?
a check to see if you break my toes?
Dex check.
Dex check.
I don't know, Alara, what's your experience with dancing? Like, how into the idea of going to soirees and balls were you as a child, and therefore did you learn to dance or not?
I did learn, and there was obviously not the same kind of dancing, but there was dancing at my mom's tavern as well that I participated in through the
Right.
years.
Okay, cool. So unless you're trying to do something fancier out of the normal, you don't need to make a check.
No, I don't need to make a spectacle of myself.
I love that you both rolled an 11.
I actually rolled a 9 because I accidentally rolled a save instead of a check.
Oh, okay. And 9 and a you're not great. You do kind of fumble a little bit, but not super hard. But like you said, you asked her to teach you. She expects it. She kind of keeps you off on the corner of the dance floor to show you.
I'm assuming she's like normal human height, right?
No, she's a dwarf too. She's the
she's a
dwarf.
dwarf. Never mind. Then that's
Although,
that's
No,
less.
you're not
that's
You're on the
the
dumb.
head height you're
super
thinking.
side of dwarf though, so she might still be taller than you.
Yeah, she is. She's like a little tall.
I wasn't thinking anything. I was just thinking it'd be really weird to see a normal human dancing,
yeah.
trying to show a dwarf how to.
Your hands
Yeah.
go
dance.
here, not here.
Bro, I'm 3 feet tall. That's like knee height at best.
Yeah, which she's a little on the tall side for a dwarf female. You're a little on the short side for a dwarf male, so there is still a height disparity, but not
Yeah.
like hugely so. Like a short dude dancing with a tall lady, right?
Yeah.
Magir, again, unless you try to like do something special or crazy, you're fine.
Cool. I'm learning.
Yep. The night starts to wear on. Kedron, Laura catches your eye and gives a certain hand signal that you know very well because you've seen it like 14 different times so far. That is, let's ditch this place and go to the tavern I have picked out. That's where we'll take our break.
Cool.
If you excuse me, I must excuse myself and seek refreshment.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We had a nice, wonderful break full of drinks and bathroom breaks and all sorts of things. If y'all don't stop messing with the card, at least while I'm talking, I swear I'm just going to end the campaign here.
Do it. I dare you.
Fine, campaign over. See you all next week for something else. Now I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, Elara was slipped a note saying, hey, let everyone know to excuse themselves and meet me out back.
All right. I will.
The question is Father Ironcloak actually going to excuse himself, or is he going to continue enjoying his night with his little dwarf girlfriend?
Hey, she's not my girlfriend. I'm just interested in work stuff. Okay, there is a tiefling who drank
That
me
is
under a
also kind of a
table
thing of
that I
dwarven
that I
culture
have a
these
date
days.
with.
That like, love is less to work.
Wow, so racist.
This is an opportunity for lore building, so I'm asking.
Yeah, just because you read it in a book doesn't mean it's true.
Yeah, I feel like
Anyway,
McGear's just being a
moving
little
on.
racist. That's great. Yeah, so you all eventually come out. Ironcloak is tailed by Louise. She's not letting you go.
We can talk while we walk. It's fine.
Yep.
Do
Like
I get a
she,
look from Laura when Louise shows up?
a little bit. She's just like looks at you and then looks at Louise and then looks at you and just kind of raises her eyebrows and then just
It was just
whatever.
supposed to be my. I didn't invite.
What's
No,
up?
no one told me it was just us.
So when the Bagheera doesn't show up, let's go before she does. That way. She takes you down to y'all's favorite little tavern, where everyone there knows you as a semi-regular. A shout of "Happy Birthday" goes up as soon as you walk in the door, and the real party begins with the dancing that Alara is used to, and much tea. And hands are marked for drinks, and as it do, but tea and coffee and decaf coffees and milkshakes and all of that Vaticanite stuff that's not alcohol.
For all the patrons who are willing to pay, I'm more than happy to make their tea taste like alcohol.
You're charging for this?
I mean, like a copper a piece. Like it's not like it's an expensive charge. It's more of a gratuity.
Yeah, you make like, I don't know, roll a d10 for me. You make 9 copper through the night from 9 different people wanting this trick.
All right. So, real quick question: who still has one of their 2 drinks left for the day?
Well,
Out
you
of
notice they
our
weren't
group,
really counting at the high society party.
yes, but are people counting in this bar?
Yes.
Does that? How do they count said drinks?
Whenever you get a drink, the back of your hand is marked with a black X, and when you have a black X on each hand, you can't get no more.
How many people in our group have a hand without a black X?
How late in the night is it?
I don't know. That's
That-
That's a question for you to answer.
Well, the amount of people that still have a drink left is a function of time here, all right? Because as the night goes on, that number gets lower.
McGear doesn't drink, so that's kind of an easy.
Yeah, McGear has drinks left.
I don't care about me. Well, if you don't drink, then it doesn't matter. Maja, Kedrin,
What all is prestidigitation good for here?
Sure, just pick one. They have a drink left. Whatever.
I'm just asking because I have 3/4 of a really fine bottle of whiskey I found in somebody's basement. That like
Did you hear Laura?
No.
So she asked what prestidigitation is good for. They're good for making X's go bye bye.
hey yo.
And if you want to be criminals, sure. You just hope there's not an undercover inquisitor nearby.
That's funny. I'm not doing that, but
Hey,
that's funny.
hey. Well, guess what? I'm famous and I can use prestidigitation. So
Are you doing that? Are you making
No.
X's go bye-bye? Okay, cool. Thank you.
no.
Thank you so much.
Maybe for
Okay.
our group, but I'll charge 2 coppers to make people's X's go away.
Is
I feel
this
like that's
something
even
you were
worse.
is this something you were legitimately telling people?
No, but
Okay.
I am pouring shots for the group of us and Laura and
Yeah.
other not Laura, right?
Well, you have Elara and you have Laura.
Well, and then what's what's the other girl?
Louise?
Louise. I knew it had an L in
Yes.
it somewhere. Fine
Cool.
shots of fine whiskey.
Yep, absolutely. You all get shots of some very fine whiskey. The party goes late into the night / early into the morning. It is a real humdinger. Everyone is exhausted the next morning, but not hungover. I mean, that's one upside to the Vatican laws, right? Um, and with that, a couple of days pass, and you are all summoned for another ceremony. Again, I have described these ceremonies like 3 times. You get the gist of it, right? You all march in. There's some prayer. Namino Dure, in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. Blah blah blah. May you be blessed. Live long and prosper. Nanu nanu. All of the stuff
I
and
don't. I
things.
don't agree with Nanu Nanu. Sorry.
Oh, okay. And then you are sent forth. Once more, Brother Petrovich is there to see you all off. As you kind of leave, there is the little camp he sets up like 10 minutes outside of town every time you guys do this, both coming and going. And he meets you and goes, "Oh, all right then. So, where are you all off to this time?"
To gather some information before heading up,
Ah,
headed to
okay.
some of the libraries that abide outside of Attica's walls. See if we can find any additional supplemental lore.
Very interesting. Have fun with that. Oh, here are the items you requested, and hands you the 2 items.
Thank you.
You put in your requisition order for. All right. Well, by the way, how is it out there? Like, it's pretty rough, right? Like, starvation and fighting and
Uh,
death and.
It depends on where you're at. The world's a very big place. There are changes of scenery, and the people are as much or less or more than you would expect, as each individual is their own individual.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. It's just some of the tragedies you hear about. Sometimes you wonder how God could allow it. Anyway,
God gives free choice, and those choices have good or bad consequences.
well, enjoy your trip. Have fun.
Off we go. And we already did discuss the route, correct?
Yeah, you guys were dropping down into. Let me pull up Asgard's real quick.
We're heading
I
to
remember the name of the
the
town.
underwater, right?
So we're headed to the library in Acadia.
Oh, dang.
Well, y'all don't want to go to the bottom of the ocean first?
Yeah, I
No.
thought that's what we were doing.
No, we're literally
We had the whole
never.
discussion, like even had
Ever.
the vote on it in the
I
poll
know.
in the chat.
I'm messing with you.
Under no circumstances will we be going to the bottom of the ocean.
In case
We'll
anyone
send
was
the other
wondering,
party.
I just picture the Mario water levels every time you say go to the bottom of the ocean.
That was it.
So it was head kind of south and east until you reach the gate, and then go through to Folatansi, and then you could take the road down from there southward, and then across east, and then back north. I think was the trip you had talked
Did
about.
we? Because didn't we decide we were gonna go up and go like the main road until we branch off for Dudley?
Yeah, we're gonna go down
Yeah.
from Fallentinsi to over by like Abrinaham, and then over till we cross the river, and then go up to Dudley, and
Yeah.
Mitten Forling, and then up to Chilling.
Yeah, pretty much. So the travel out to the gate, pretty uneventful, right? You guys are all on horseback. It's pretty chill. The last time you came this way, you had exactly 1 horse and a cart. Now you have all horses. It's pretty cool.
And a pig.
As you are riding down the road, McGear, all of you see a horse without a rider trotting in the opposite direction. A very familiar horse. and just as it walks by you.
McGear, is that your horse?
That's a
Huh.
horse?
No.
It kind of stops and shakes its mane, starts to look back towards you.
I mean, doesn't it still look like a horse?
Yeah, it looks like a horse right now.
So in
That's
the
a-
meantime, when we were away from it, he did inform us not to like refer to it as not a horse, right?
Yep.
That includes Baja.
I was saying that from the distance. Yeah, before it got closer.
It's right close to you guys right now, and it's looking at you.
Is this a
Starts to
wild
kinda
horse?
turn.
You already killed
No,
your
whose horse
character.
is
Why
this?
you gotta kill the rest of us?
Suppose you have a new horse now. We're just outside the gates. Why don't we have someone pick it up or something? I don't know. No need to move over all of your items to a new steed, I suppose. Or just let it be free.
It turns its head and keeps trotting.
I mean, we kind of have the sentimental value of that being, you know.
It's walking down the road. You guys are heading the other direction.
And pick up the pace a little bit. Gotta get there fast.
Yeah, right. So you get to the gate. You get through the gate.
Wait.
You make it to Felitencia. No issues.
How
were
far
in-
is the Underdark from here?
We were inside the
That's
wall.
like a couple months.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah,
Holy crap.
usually it would be.
We were inside the wall, and
Uh-huh.
when we ran into the
Yeah.
horse.
Also, you guys have been home for like 2 months. Remember, you guys had like a 2-month downtime.
Right, but the wall has a gate, right?
Oh yeah, big wall.
And they
big
just let
wall, big gate.
they just let random horses through these gates.
Or something.
Don't
Pick up
think
the
about
pace
it,
a little
just
more.
ride.
Pick up the pace a little more.
So you guys make it to the gate, through the gate. Everything's good. Delete like. Hold on, do I have my grid set here? No, I don't. Dang it.
Oh,
As we go through the area where
I don't
we
know.
specifically
Like 2
got,
days worth of rations.
yeah, where we got attacked before, I am going to be extra vigilant.
is
Yeah,
there
nothing. It's clear.
is there a village next to like where this gate is at? Or like
There is
a trading
guard
post, or where I can pick up rations?
There's a guard post you can get some from. Yeah, you don't have to pay for them. You're inside Vatica still. You can just ask for them. They'll probably hook you up.
Cool. I'll pick up like an
So
extra.
does Maja have like a giant Clydesdale or something?
A giant what?
His horse is a
Clydesdale?
little bit larger. Yeah.
Because I was gonna say a normal horse won't fit Maja.
It's a fairly large horse. Yeah. So you
Really?
guys. Go ahead.
I was going to say trekking on, is what I was going to say.
Yep. You guys, another little bit of travel. You make it to Felitencia. Hey, you guys have been here before. You can pop in and see people you know if you want to, or don't. It's up to you.
I'll check in on the. This is where we met the person here.
Yeah.
Wait, is
Yeah, alchemist, whatever you might call it. That we made that deal with the cart for like discounts.
so? This is where.
Oh, Lila. That was her name.
This
Yeah,
is where
Lila.
we fought Father Caliday, right?
Yes, this is where you fought
Oh,
Father
okay.
Caliday. This is where you met Lila,
Hey.
the 12-year-old.
This is where Father Ironcloak joined us.
Yeah, I think I'm going to visit a bar or an inn
Okay.
run by
Remind me again why exactly?
a certain tiefling.
Yeah, what was her name? Let's see.
I have it in here somewhere.
Marith? The one who owns Marith's Mystical Emporium?
I think so.
Wait, is this the town where we had the priest die?
Yes.
Cool. I want to talk to the
Like
armorer.
the priest turn into a...
Yeah, I want to go talk to the armorer
Yeah,
because
sure, you can go talk to her.
my business opportunity thing that I did with her for making the coin pouches with the linking
Yep.
stuff so people don't steal from us.
Yep, I'm aware. Cool. We'll go talk to her. You can go talk to Marith. What's Alara doing?
I don't know. I've been trying to calm the baby. What's just
So we
traveling?
yeah,
You guys are back in Flotentia?
This is the giant town that we had the murder mystery, and the priest ended up being like the demon.
Oh, right.
Where you
Had
signed your initial contract.
that we ended up not doing anything about.
The kids.
Yeah, because they had the kids that live in like the vendor in the sewers.
Oh, the Thieves Guild thing.
Yeah.
I am going to buy some
We
rations
got those.
for children.
We got those kids jobs working at the apothecary.
Y'all
Yeah.
did. Maja,
Right.
big
Never
city.
mind.
First city you've ever been in outside of Attica.
I'm exploring.
Everyone
Yeah,
wears
all
different
those
clothes. Like, that's really strange. Like, they have their own individualistic clothes. Because in Vatica, everyone wears the same thing. White linen shirts, white linen pants for the dudes with like a golden cross embroidered on it. Same thing, but a skirt for the women, unless it's like some sort of vocational clothing, right? Like blacksmith aprons or like some brown clothes for the farmers when they're working in the fields.
We've experienced different clothes at the party.
Again, that was still very regulated to the high society families. Like, there's still sort of some regulations as they fit into. This is individualistic. Everyone is wearing a hodgepodge of different clothing, and it is bizarre. There's someone doing magic on the street corner for pay, which would get them beheaded inside of Vatica. Like, this is wild.
You also notice none of us are blinking at this.
Oh yeah, no, they're all taking it in stride.
And I'm like a kid in a... Yeah, I want to say almost like a kid in a candy shop just taking in all the sights, just like how straight... No, foreigner in a new city, just taking in everything that's like, this is different.
Yeah. Kedron, how about you, buddy?
Well, like I said, I was visiting the
One second.
apothecary.
Lila? Cool.
Yeah,
So from left to right, Father Ironcloak.
Actually, JK, I want to make I want to go to the bank
Yeah,
first
sure.
because I am broke. Because Vatica doesn't have banks.
Yep.
just here for a second.
Oh wait, that's pointless. It doesn't matter because
Yeah, you
I
can
can
write
just
checks.
write checks now.
Yeah.
So I'm going shopping at there's a gem store, or like a magic shop, or some.
I mean, there is Maris Mystical. What was it?
Yeah,
Maris Mystical Emporium
she'd have like
components.
components for spells, right?
Probably. Yeah, more than likely. I think there's also a Salazar's here. If you like, he specializes in components.
We'll go to Marith first because I guess that's the same.
Yeah. What are you looking for?
Diamonds.
What?
Diamonds.
Yeah. You walk into Marith's place. What was her accent? Oh man, I did.
They actually have the gem place here because I returned the gem and their box. Remember?
Oh, yeah, there is a jeweler in town.
Okay, well, whichever one of those the gems would be the cheapest at, that's where I'm going to go. If it's going to be the same price, then I'll just go to Marith.
It depends. What does the
400
spell
gold.
require?
It
That's
doesn't
gonna cost
matter.
400 gold if they
Right.
have it.
Never. So then we're just going to Marith's.
Cool. Let me see if she has a 400 gold diamond sitting around. She does. Cool. You walk into Maris, and the door opens. It tinkles, and she goes, welcome to Maris Mystical Emporium. How can I assist you today?
Well, I'm looking for a diamond.
I have a few diamonds. I have diamond dust. I have diamonds. I have a fake diamond.
Like,
What do you need?
Whatever hand gesture for whatever a 400 gold
Yeah.
diamond looks like.
What spell are you trying to cast, darling?
Revivify.
Ah, yes. Right this way. How many are you looking for?
4.
I have 2. However, I do know the jeweler has 2 as well. Yes. It'll be, what, 400 gold apiece, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, 400 gold apiece.
Cool.
Pretty sure this is the tiefling that drank you under the table, too.
It might be. But
Yeah, the one that wouldn't stop hitting on him.
actually,
yeah, she doesn't seem to recognize you this time.
so timeline-wise, we've already been here.
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't recognize me?
Nah.
I am going to pull out. I've got a vial of that really neat beer I brewed. The what was it called? It was quad something. I've got it in my book. Didn't put it in my inventory. That I brewed at the pirate place, and I'm gonna give it to her as a tip. I'll say that, and then I'll leave.
Well, thank you, darling. I'll enjoy this. You like some good beer. Yeah, you get that. You go to the jeweler. You get your other 2. You have your components for your spell. McGear, you go to the armorer. As you walk in, you expect to see like an example or 2 of this little mesh bag up on the shelves. There's nothing.
As in, like, she moved shop out of town?
No, like there are no mesh bags specifically.
Oh.
You went to the high-end one, right? What was her name? There's the jeweler, high-end smith female. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't have any royalties for you. Sorry. A certain interested group came along with some very sharply persuasive arguments as to why I should not be producing such items. And I found it in my best interest to stop producing such items.
Oof.
Interesting. As in, they took the plans, or it was in their interest to not have this out there?
That one.
Ah. Interesting.
So I won't be producing any of those. As lovely of an idea as it is, and it is that. Yes, I'm sorry, I can't produce them here.
I understand, and I wish you the best.
Thank you. Ilara, you go buy rations. There's a general store, pretty easy. You just drop the money, grab the rations, you're good to go.
All right, Josh, can you drop rations for me?
Kedron,
Actually, quick side
you
note,
go to where the sorry.
Oh,
Go
Brian.
ahead. Yeah.
Oh, this had something else.
Oh, I
Go
was
for it.
just
Sorry.
gonna say, while we're here, I wanted to mention to the group before we go out and do stuff. Is there anything we want to offload at Salazar's? Like anything we want to try and sell him? Because at this point we have a lot of stuff, magical stuff that we don't necessarily need.
I was going to suggest going there, not necessarily to sell, but of course, if we desire it, But to take our next leveled test,
Ooh.
Ooh, good idea. Okay, continue. Whoever's turn it is next.
Cool. Maja, you're being a tourist.
Yep.
Cool, touristing away. Kedron, you go to where the apothecary shop was. It is now a small bakery. It was a very
excuse
small
me,
apothecary shop to begin with, but
What-
kind of an older woman turns around. Yes, honey. What can
do
I
you know
do
what
for you?
happened to the apothecary shop that used to be here?
Oh, Lila's. Yeah, it's down on the edge of town now.
Oh, this direction here.
Yes, just follow that road.
Thank you.
Need any sweets for the road, honey?
Um, well, I'll take a muffin of sorts. Just
Yeah, it's just a
a
copper.
copper for a muffin, I guess.
Yeah, she's
Copper.
like got like a fresh baked tray of them. These are some fire blueberry muffins. Like it's like this is literally a grandma who just took her hobby and started making money from it. They're from fire blueberry muffins. Um, you start walking down the road and as you come to the edge of the town, a building that wasn't there before, quite large, and then coming out of the back of it is something you have only ever seen one other place. That is Vatica. It is a building of glass out back of this wooden building. Again, the only other place
It's a
you've ever seen this
greenhouse.
is in Vatica. It is a greenhouse,
I'm
which
gonna
up to this
walk in,
point only existed there.
kind of looking around, up and around.
So the greenhouse is like a separate like building
No,
you walk
into the main
yeah.
building. I mean,
Very nice apothecary. Health potions. There is now a jug of you can refill your health potions here. There is, I mean, just it has come up in the world.
is she
Different
there?
dried herbs. She is. She's behind the counter.
Our
Welcome to
ideas and advice have
Kitchen.
quite a bit, haven't they?
Yo. So those kids you sent me worked great. Also, thanks for the cart. Obviously couldn't start exporting immediately because the guild. Duh. But I have actually, as of 2 days ago, I signed a contract with them to let me export my stuff for a fee. Basically, I'm a member now. I can do all of my own exports. I just pay like a yearly percentage. It's pretty great. So, anyways, yeah. Yo, we figured out how to grow them.
Grow,
The
grow what?
flowers. The flowers that are like 90% of a health potion.
Oh, of course, yes.
Like this is a personality shift. Before she was like very subdued and everything. She's so excited right now. And if you notice, next door, I also own the funeral home. There's a correlation. All right. So hold on. I'll be right back. She runs out back and then comes back in, towing this scrawny, pale-skinned elf boy that's probably like a little older than her, with like air down all in his eyes and like he's an emo kid, right? Eldon, right? This is Eldon. Eldon, Kedron, he gave me the cart, hooked it way up, sent you guys here. You know him, you've seen him. Anyways, he actually helped me figure it out. So like I tried to plant the seeds. Lots of people tried to plant the seeds. It never works, right? They just don't grow here for some reason. They grow out there and no one knows why or where or whatever. Anyways, Eldon, tell him what you did. And he's like, yeah, so I like to watch things decompose.
Very
And
well good.
I took one of her pots that she had tried to grow these flowers in unsuccessfully, and like I killed a stray cat and put in there to watch it rot. And then like
Okay.
the flowers grew, like and like it started rotting really fast, right? Like 3 days the whole body was gone, which was just like crazy. Okay, like that's things don't rot that fast. I would know. I've killed and watched a lot of things rot. They
Okay.
don't rot that fast. But this one did, and then like a week later, like the flowers started popping up, and we found out that They grow on dead things. Like the things die, and then the flowers consume that to like live again, and it's like the circle of life.
We should probably kill this kid.
All right then.
Only Kedron's there right now,
I know.
or maybe
lovely to meet
Maja. I
you
don't
guys
know.
then.
Yeah, so that's why we have the funeral home, because like the bigger and more powerful the creature, and like the more smart it is, the better the flowers grow. So like we take the bodies, and like the people know this. It's not hidden. They know what we do. Like it's voluntary, and then we grow things on it. If we can't get that, then we have like deer and stuff we'll get and put in there, like dead animals, and it grows the flowers we need for health potions. She's like,
All right
yeah,
then.
so double business. People pay us to have their funerals, and then we get to use the bodies to make health potions, and then we make money.
You are quite the enterprising individual. How did you know to expand before we helped you?
I didn't have all these kids to help me out. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the free labor helped out a lot. I pay them now that I can. I didn't have the income to before, but we worked it out. Also, they brought in quite a bit of capital. Don't know where they got it, didn't ask.
All right then. So we'd spoken before about discounts and such.
Yep, 10%.
10%. All right. Still quite something to take in.
Yeah, so like your refills over there for a regular potion bottle will be 40 gold instead of, the normal 55 or 45. Yeah, of course, everything else is priced accordingly. Yo, by the way, out of the trade a couple days ago, it's got something really cool. She pulls it down. She's like, "This is a potion of storm giant strength. Pretty cool." Don't know if you're
Yeah.
interested.
Anything for a more sly fighter?
Let's see. What is that called? The one that lets you go between dimensions, like into the
Unknown.
potion of etherealness. Oil of etherealness.
I'll look at that.
I got some of this oil of etherealness, like makes you invisible, I think, or something. I'm not really sure. It's just cool.
For now, I suppose I'll start by refilling these two bottles. 2 bottles
Sure.
for health potions.
Yeah, absolutely. You throw down your 80 gold there,
All right then.
and that's pretty much all I have planned for the city. Those are the highlights.
Test.
Yeah. Do you want to actually go through the test, or you just want to say that you went through the test?
I'm fine with just saying we went through the test, but
Real quick, if he mentions that there's a potion refill thing, I'm there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Throw
I'll
down your
follow.
gold, refill your potions.
Cool. I'm dropping 400 gold on this because
You have that many bottles?
yeah, well, they were all full until like people decided they needed to die and stuff, and
You didn't refill those in Vatica, where it was free.
when I went looking for it, I was told there wasn't a place to refill them.
There wasn't.
And get this, I had no money because banks don't work.
Yeah. So yeah, you can drop 400 gold on that. That is absolutely acceptable. Go for it. I lost Jacob. It's fine. He's not that important anyway. You guys take your advancement test. With Salazar, you are advanced to the next level. Things are a bit hectic around his shop right now. He is doing a little bit of construction. He actually doesn't have any jobs up right now.
Is he
what's
buying?
Maj's reaction to this place?
I'm intrigued.
Oh yeah, Mudge. You step over. That looks like it's attached to a closet. Instead, there is a whole butt building on the other side.
It's bigger on the inside?
Hey,
No, you hear
I
in
asked
your head.
Catherine for the bag of holding.
You hear no.
What did you say, Josh?
I asked you for the bag of holding.
Good. What do you need?
The bag of holding.
All right then. Just hand it to him, I guess.
I go over to Salazar and I pull out the hand of Vecna. Say, hey, so this is a thing. Would like some advice.
What is it? Maj, all the stuff you're hearing inside of your head, by the way. Like he doesn't speak. It's just projected into your skull.
I basically explained the hand of Vecna to him.
Bury it very deep, very far away. Throw it in a star. Throw it into a volcano. I don't think it would destroy it. It'd just be hard to get to.
Throw it inside a dragon.
All right, thank you for your help. Shove it back in the bag. And then put the bag on my hip.
Yeah. He makes a note. Got
Does
it.
he have any interesting items just off the top of your head?
Like I said, right now he's in the process of remodeling.
All right.
That's code for I didn't prep anything. Sorry. Salazar's remodeling right now. He likes to reorganize, and his daughter is a little like, seriously, whatever. She's over it, but
She's over it.
yeah. He does this like once every couple of weeks. It's ridiculous.
All right, then.
Anyways, you guys leave Salazar's. As you step out of Salazar's, you come face to face. We're gonna say McGear walked out of Salazar's first for aesthetic in this case. McGear, almost nose to nose with some dude. Everyone else steps out around you, and it's just like one of those whoa, but he does not flinch. He just stands there. And as you look into his eyes, one is pitch black and one is completely constricted down, with a very familiar sigil on his forehead. With you all standing there, he reaches into his sleeve, pulls out a scroll. It's said to give this to you, honored one.
Thanks.
And he
Is
just
this
turns.
Is the sigil that you're talking about the same thing that the other monks in the forbidden section had?
And the same thing that's starting to show up on your forehead.
Lovely.
So
Yep.
none of the rest of us recognize it then.
What was that?
Odd. That was odd.
What does the letter say? Or the scroll?
I will know later when I read it. And
All right, then.
I mean, we've
Some-
got plenty of time.
I mean, yeah. So I pop open the letter.
It is a scroll of magic circle, or the teleportation circle one, with a little note attached to it that says, "Let us know when you are coming."
Does it have a thing on like how to let them know?
I mean, you can probably just think to it.
I mean, okay, yeah. It's like, yeah, we. Huh. I'll roll it back up. I'll stick it in my pocket.
What was it?
Yeah, what'd it say?
I have a general idea. I'm also a little confused.
You can't read it? I thought you could read
No,
anything.
I can read it. It's more of a just like shorthand note of letting the library know when we're coming.
Okay, Bryant, I will ask you this first. Would it be out of pocket to roll an insight check?
I don't think so. Especially since you're all standing very closely and you can see that there was more written on there than just let the library. Like, it was arcane stuff on the scroll. Whether or not you know what that arcane stuff is would be an arcana check.
I'll roll the insight first, and then we'll see about
I mean, can I Arcana to see if I?
Yeah, like, because y'all were kind of crowded around when this happened. Like, y'all just stepped out of the door and then, like, kind of punked him into reading it. McGear, it's going to be a deception check on your
Yeah.
part.
What am I deceiving so that
That's a dirty
Or
20.
that's a dirty 20. So he is trying to see if it's more than you're saying and see if you're being sketchy is kind of what I'm picking up, right? Reading body language,
Yeah,
like if
just
you're
like-
hiding something. So you are trying to
Try-
keep him from realizing that you know more than you're saying and that you're hiding something, because you know more than you're saying and you're definitely trying to hide something.
Oscupate.
Obfuscate? Whatever, that word.
Obfuscate.
Why 2d20?
I mean, the leftmost was a 3. Oh,
I get
the
to reroll
2d20
that.
he was setting up
So
his.
that's a lucky one. So we're
It's
going to just
important
re-roll that.
Unless you want to spend another luck point.
Nah.
He's definitely hiding something.
Feel free to ask.
Mickey, it was. There's more on that than what you said. You mind elaborating a bit further? Got a glimpse, and there's definitely more going on there.
Sure. The scroll is a teleportation scroll, and my assumption would be that it takes us directly to the library that we were actually heading to. They're expecting us.
How and why?
I have assumptions. I have
We're just-
assumptions. I
I'm not sharing
Don't-
said assumptions.
they may or may not be relevant yet, and I am going to find out more. And I will get back to you when I feel it is relevant.
Do like to know things in advance of them becoming imminently relevant. You know, foresight is always good, even if not possible.
Our last visit there was fruitful and possibly helping Alara. Yes.
At least gave us the next step.
So, the manner of acquiring some of that information, do you ever remember checking it out?
Checking what out?
The information.
No, you just fell asleep on a book, and then when you woke up, you looked down and said you'd found it.
Yes. Do you remember ever checking out any of that information?
No, you took notes about what you said you had found directly after. You just used your notes.
Did I ever say I took notes? I just said I had the information. And we
So
left.
if you're are you referring to checking out as in checking it out of the library?
You can't
Or
check books out
checking
of
it-
this library.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't check books out of the library.
You can only
Not
take
that
notes on stuff. And if I remember
Yeah,
correctly, you
I
did
also
have
did.
like
Everyone knew that I had the magic circle scroll, which means we left with material.
no, you didn't leave with the magic circle scroll. You left with information about the magic circles.
No.
So he had two things.
Have a
One
scroll.
was to summon a specific demon, which he had information on that it existed. And then he had a scroll of the magic circle that allows you to trap a demon.
But he never told us about having it.
Yes,
he kept
I
that to
did.
himself.
No, the information for Alara and all that was shared. The thing I didn't share was
but not the
promise you
information
was
that you
making the guy.
had one of those scrolls. You told us you figured out about it, but you never told us you had one.
No, I told the group about it. We just had no way of using it because unless
think he
we
did.
So I believe he did tell us about it, but I'm pretty sure that was before the whole time dealio where
No, he didn't get it until after the whole time dealio. That was the culmination of the time dealio. That deleted your natural 20 from the world.
'Cause I
I
don't
love how
remember
we
him
keep.
saying he had it.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna go with he told you that he had the scroll. We'll just go with that.
Information that was not necessarily checked out went with us. Um, by whatever means, and I have assumptions as to what those means may be, but it doesn't matter. The
Somebody is stealing something.
I am saying that they are expecting us, and it could be good or bad, and I would be apprehensive until I have further information.
So what do you suggest we do then about this?
Be aware of your surroundings.
I mean, but we were literally just in a magical building, and they knew we were in there. So does it
If they're
matter?
possibly hunting you down, should we be going there?
If they were hunting me down, with as close as he was, he would have run me through. I would have had no chance of avoiding that.
Then I suppose if they're being civil, we should at least go back and settle whatever it is then.
I mean, we were heading there anyway, so it would be on the docket.
So you said, did he use? Wait, did you just tell us what was like on the scroll for like the teleportation there?
Oh yeah, I just told you that. Yeah.
Yeah, he did say that.
Then should we use it to expedite the process?
We could avoid all the traveling by doing so. Yes. At the same time, the apprehensive part of me is apprehensive.
Yeah, are we sure that scroll even takes us where they're saying it is? Because if you possibly took something from them, that
So, Scroll of Teleportation Circles allows you to cast the teleportation circle spell, which you decide where it goes as long as you have the series of glyphs for that teleportation circle, which McGear very specifically wrote down when you guys went there the first time.
So this is the
Okay,
only
cool.
place we
So
can
basically,
go.
I tell them exactly where it is going to. It's like this will go to their spot that we teleported to last time using the other library. Basically, this would be the portable version of that, already imbued with the arcane energy required.
Well, all right then. I suppose if we know where it goes, we have less to worry about.
I don't know. I feel worried.
so then we're walking.
I mean, it doesn't change the destination. We'll get there eventually. I just don't want to deal with what's there if this is a thing.
The real question comes down to: do we want to get this out of the way, whether it is good or bad, or do we want to put it off and deal with it a little bit later?
I would say
Either
that
way,
we
we
should
have to
prepare
deal
for
with
this as much as you probably prepared to come save me when you realized I had been kidnapped. Because I don't like being locked up.
Repeat the first part of that. I missed it.
I mean, to be fair, McGear, we didn't really
love that
know
assumption.
you were kidnapped until you tried to kill Alara.
To be fair, I didn't try to kill her. That wasn't me. And I do appreciate being rescued, despite it being unintentional. So thanks for
No,
not saving me intentionally.
I mean, it was intentional after we discovered that you were missing, which was before
Thanks
we
for
found
not
you.
leaving me behind. Point being, you planned ahead, and we didn't all die from it because it ended up being less than civil. So we should plan ahead and hope that it's civil.
So are you suggesting we ride there instead? Is that your decree on this? What you believe we should do?
I don't think. No, I think the circle would be just fine. I just think that we should plan ahead as far as what we're walking into.
All right, be prepared for battle, I suppose. Worst case scenario, and have
Yes,
anything
go in
prepared you may
prepared.
need.
We don't need to be armed to the teeth. We just also need to not be walking in unarmed. I
I
don't
mean,
know
we're
what.
always
I don't
rather
want
armed
to
to the
fight
teeth.
things if we don't need to. That would be very. I like books. It's not good to fight in libraries. It's bad for the peace.
So just be prepared to fight, but not weapons drawn.
I am
Say that
so confused.
I feel like McGear's stalling. This is great.
McGear's just like. He at this point he's just kind of like rubbing his temple. Is like, I'm talking in circles. Like
All right, so we're going to the library. We are
we're
using.
going to
Go
go
to
to
the
the
library.
library.
We'll be prepared to fight if we have to. Be on guard.
What is the
So-
what does
Rise up,
the Allfather's
be ready.
words say? Be as peaceful as a dove, but as shrewd as a snake.
Okay, so be our normal selves and teleport to the library.
You know what?
Yes,
we're going in
basically we should
circles.
refill our health potions, and we should be good. Yeah.
I've done that. Father Rancoke, you've done that.
Yeah.
All right, we're good.
I need to go fill my potions.
I need to go fill mine.
Cool. Y'all drop however much gold it cost. It's 40 gold a pop over at Layla's, and then you reconvene.
You have the book of keeping for the.
How much is a normal
ledger,
refill on a
right?
regular
No,
health
I
potion?
have my own ledger. Where is that
Yes,
ledger?
you have your own ledger. So buying a health potion is 50 gold, just for a regular basic health potion. Refilling is 45 because it's 10% off, and then you're taking an extra 5 gold off for that, which is a little over 10% for the Layla's refill station. So, just write down how many potions you're buying, and then deal with the money later. How does that sound?
Sure.
Cool. Just write in your notes, subtract this much gold, and then we'll do it later. So you all reconvene. Yay! You have filled health potions now.
We should get a long rest. Travel in the morning.
You have a long rest already. You have not done anything today.
We haven't done anything for 3 months.
We should be ready for this.
All right, we rest. We're ready to go. Let's go.
Dang it.
We only got 15 minutes. How long is this encounter going to be?
I don't know. We're not gonna make it there before we have to end the session.
So at night, as we're going down, I mentally tell the note, we'll be there in the morning.
You hear back. Tell us when you are coming this way. Specifically. No, like the impression you get is like, tell them just before you hit go.
Oh. Alright.
Like there's some impatience and almost a face palm if it had a face or a palm.
That's what he gets for a small note.
Also, I'm confused. Are we supposed to teleport into this library with our horses?
No. It's a library. We're not in Neanderthals.
So how are we getting back to full intensity to get our horses?
I'm
That's-
not leaving my horse behind.
Are you showing up in a library with a horse?
Yeah.
They were
We
the
have a
ones.
dedicated room for this travel. I'm using it.
They're the ones who made the plans. They should have
You're
accounted
the
for
one
that.
that said be prepared for anything.
Yep. What if we spawn?
There is also a level of common sense.
No, but you said be prepared for anything. What if we get teleported to the Feywild in a giant field of grass again? I'm not walking for multiple hours to get out of the grass.
Okay. I will facepalm towards Father Ironcloak. Is like, to be fair, I caught that mistake as it activated. I've already double checked this scroll. It's fine.
Not leave behind Mandar.
Yes, you can ride the horses through because it opens a temporary portal. You ride through and then you're there. Okay, cool. So y'all are doing that. Cool. It is that time. It is the morning. You all are ready to rock. Everyone is queued up.
All right, here we go. I placed down the scroll. Here we come. Mentally activate.
The portal opens. You all ride through almost simultaneously. You arrive. The portal closes behind you. You're in a very familiar room. In a circle of these attendants, these monks, for lack of a better term, about 3 deep, all standing unnaturally motionless. Hold on, let me get a little music going over here. We're just gonna play
Perception, do
that.
all of them have the symbols on their forehead of the last guy? What?
You don't even need the answer is yes.
I can't hear you for some reason.
Your microphone
Closer.
died.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
You don't need a perception. The answer is yes.
So
Every single monk has that emblazoned in their forehead.
are we talking like cult dudes, like shaved heads and just giant like?
It's about that big, and it is a circle, like a dot, and then a circle around that, and then a bigger circle around that with a spike that goes down the nose.
So cult.
About 3 deep, kind of staggered to where they can look between each other's shoulders, standing around you, and in one voice, they speak, "Welcome." Dang it, what's the word I had saved? Shoot.
No, thank you.
"Welcome, Harbinger. Freer." And then one speaks one word, and then another speaks another word to continue sentences as the voice bounces around the room. "We would like to thank you for joining us, for accepting our invitation." However, every time it says our or I, 4 to 5 voices will speak at once with different iterations: us, they, theirs, mine.
My head's just slowly gonna turn to look at McGear.
Same.
As you do, McGear's emblem grows to a point where it is no longer hideable. It is a full insignia.
Bruh.
Like, yeah. What's going on?
McGear, you see something a little different. You do see the monks around you. You do see the black splotches on their foreheads, but coming out of each one of those is a tendril that extends into the distance and phases out of them to another dimension. You also see one attached to yourself.
Hashtag detect magic.
Sure. You don't really pick anything up right at the moment.
So when Kedron says, "What's going
Except
on
for
here?" So a thing happened last time we were here.
"Please come this way.
You think you might have told
Exalted
us?
one."
Say what?
You think you might
Please.
have told us?
Quit interrupting.
"Please come this way, Exalted one." As the ranks open, and one solitary individual steps forward to lead you. This is one of the black-robed, mouths and eyes sewn shut individuals from before.
Don't do anything rash, guys. And I walk forward, following.
You walk forward following. What do the rest of you do?
I'm kind of frozen in place with my hand on my sword. Like, not drawing it, but just sitting there.
As McGear gets past the first rank, they back into place, right behind McGear.
Lovely.
So I'm gonna assume he was lying about stuff.
I would say so. This does not look good.
The person in front of you stops, kind of lifts their head a little bit, and turns to look at you, McGear, and inside of their mind, you hear the voice. As his head turns way too far. Like, as if trying to imitate curiosity, but it doesn't quite know how that works or how human bodies work, and it just twists a little too far for comfort, and says, "Should we bring your friends with you?"
They would probably feel more comfortable and less likely to do something rash.
The people behind McGear open back up, and then the ring starts to close in around you as if to force you through that opening.
I kind of look back and motion them.
You see this guy's head like a little too far cocked to the side, like, and then it just back up. He turns around and keeps walking.
Mandar moves, but I am still ready to strike.
Oh yeah, you all continue through this library in complete silence. There are more monks around, moving, cataloging, taking inventory, dusting, doing normal monk things, but they all have that same sigil and they all have this distant, glassy look in their eyes as if their lights are on but nobody's home. Eventually, you come to the restricted section. The bars, like you had the half wall and the bars above, are all bent and torn. The doors have been blasted off and are hanging ajar and have been kind of scraped to the side. As you walk, not the person in front of you, but random monks begin speaking words to you as you pass, forming sentences, none of them looking up from their work. One will speak, and then the next that you pass will speak, and the next that you pass. This is only possible thanks to you, McGear. You helped me to get free. And again, when it says me, you hear dozens of voices around the monastery or around the library say different iterations of me, it, they, there, us. It's a surreal experience for sure. You all pass through the gates into the restricted section, which is now barren. There are no books. The shelves are empty. And McGear, interesting thing, when you walk through it this time, the restricted section is only like shelf, wall. As compared to last time you made this journey, it felt way bigger. But somehow these dimensions seem natural. Like it was probably distorted the last time you were here. Like this makes more sense. And you come to a door. The hooded figure reaches out and opens the door, revealing to all and ushering you all in. Do you go in?
Well, yeah.
McGear does. The rest of you?
McGear?
I'm assuming
I-
horses are not gonna fit.
I reiterate,
No.
do not do anything rash.
Kedron, how
Is
close are you to me?
staying here and not going in the creepy door rash?
Use your best judgment. Don't do anything rash. Remember how you told me follow your example for your parties of like don't do anything rash? Yeah. Don't do anything rash.
I'm going in.
Laura goes in.
As we're like, I'm assuming riding our horses, like riding. That
Yeah, the horse won't fit through this door though.
So we're leaving our horses? I guess.
Mandar, stay ready.
Okay, as we're dismounting, I'm gonna get
I
near.
did not ride my horse.
Okay, your horse is back in the room, the teleportation room.
No,
Okay.
I didn't bring my horse at all through the portal.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
You all dismount and follow him into the room. As you step inside of this room, you see. Go ahead.
As we're dismounting, I'm going to slip Kedron one of the diamonds and the spell pearl with Revivify in it.
Cool. Kedron, he hands you that, and you all step in.
Do I have to make an Arcana? Could I make like an intelligence check or an Arcana check to figure out like what he's handing me and why?
So I think
You all know what the pearl is.
yeah, and
I know what the pearl is.
I'd mentioned how to
would I
use it.
know that paired with the diamond, what that would mean?
Well, you've seen me use it 3 times now.
Yeah. So
I don't.
you have a pretty good
Asking if I
understanding.
would be able to.
Well,
Like,
no. Whenever you
automatically do that?
infuse the pearl, you consume the component for it. So literally, it's a magical hand grenade at that point. And as long as you just communicated to the party
Okay,
you're putting
then-
Revivify in it, then
Then JK, I'm not giving you spell pearl because I didn't have a diamond when I did that.
You
So-
could have done it last night when I told you to prepare.
Sure, we'll say that.
cool. You have a pearl of spell storing with Revivify in it.
All right.
You all step into this room, and floating in the air as if tearing through reality itself is a black, undulating mass. Sometimes textured like some sort of ceramic, other times liquid, sometimes tentacles and arms and hands and legs and feet, and it hurts your mind to look at because there's more to it that your brain can't quite nail down. An eldritch abomination floats before you. And booming through all of your heads. Very difficult to understand, except for McGear, who had lots of practice at this. You upheld your bargain. Divine Sense. Ooh, nice. Celestial Fiend or Undead. It has not been total cover.
I'm glad you know that the giant undulating mass in front of us is bad.
Nothing registers. There is no Celestial Fiend or Undead in this room.
All right.
Probably an aberration, if anything. Anyways, McGear. You said you wish to be free.
Simply nod.
Very well. But first, for your mostly excellent service, a treat. A slit in reality opens in front of you, into which you peer and you see some darkness, some light, some moving. Come. This is a payment, a gift.
Okay.
Your steps through. If the rest of you start to move forward, black figure step in front of you and stop you. Anyone trying to fight past him?
Absolutely not.
Maja, you want to try and swing on these guys?
That sounds like fun.
As he
Actually,
starts to step
is
through-
Maja how is Maja feeling right now? Like he went from like good boy Christian life of everything is great and the All Father to I am suddenly standing in the middle of a cult staring at an abomination within like 3 days.
So my party member is been a cult member this whole time.
I feel like there should definitely be some fear in there somewhere.
Bro just went on his mission
Think
trip, and we're
awkward
like,
homeschooler meets not God.
you know, awkward homeschooler goes on a missions trip, and they're like, "Yo, let's introduce you to our cult."
Yeah.
Oh, and
Except
none of
the
the group
cult
knows
leader
about it.
is
Everyone else is
literally
freaked out.
a Cthulhu-esque creature. So Maja's doing what Maja's doing right now, and he's probably freaking out a little, if I had to guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say in shock.
Kedron,
I
you
mean-
swinging on these bros?
As McGear starts to step through, I'm just gonna let McGear.
Nothing rash. And as I walk through,
This looks rash.
Stepping through seems rash.
McGear, you step through into a void. This one doesn't tear you apart, though.
that's nice.
Around you, there's stuff, but also nothing. You are in a void, but in this void, which is somewhat familiar to you. You've been here in dreams. But now you see things around you. You see strands of light. And next to you, you see the true form of this thing you serve. And you see a trail of light beneath you that you seem to have stepped out of, because you can see a little slit down there. And you see one tentacle, one tendril breaching through into that strand of reality. And attached to that is the mind-bending mass that is this thing that you serve or have served. And you see beneath you this one strand of reality, and there are multiple stacked above and below and to the sides and diagonally.
So it's
You are a
basically like this point of reality.
you are a three-dimensional creature seeing in 4 dimensions right now.
Okay,
Your brain doesn't like it.
as much as my brain doesn't like it, it's also really cool.
Oh, absolutely. You do
Research
see your attachment to the creature, and inside of your head it says, I am the only reason your mind does not break right now. You see it touching and infiltrating other branches of reality. This thing is not just in your dimension, it is in multiple, if not all dimensions. And as your sight shifts in a weird way, because again, you're a 3-dimensional creature seeing in 4 dimensions. Imagine if you only lived in 2 dimensions and suddenly you're in our world trying to see depth. It's weird. And laying across and through your layer of reality and all of the others is a golden 4-dimensional weave stretching between all dimensions. You see the weave. And it's not just your world, it connects all worlds. However, around your world, it is distorted. And you see little creatures. I say little, but as you focus on it, you begin to move closer, but you're moving through 4-dimensional space, so your brain is like sliding sideways almost. It's trying to make sense of it. It's just really hard. They are huge. And they have these long tendrils that reach and touch the weave and begin to put it back in place. These are repairers. This is reality. And then you are pushed back towards the slit.
Boy, you
Into
need some
your own world.
Tylenol after that.
You have a headache from this, and you imagine if you weren't being buffered by your connection with this 4th-dimensional being, you'd probably be bleeding out of your eyes, nose, mouth, ears, everything. However, as you start to go back into that hole, you glance over and you see an old man with a long beard going, like, just super confused, waving at you. And then you are back. McGear steps back through the cut in reality. It seals up behind him.
Okay.
He's back, everyone. And then he says, and one more. You asked about my. What was that for?
My important dice for the day.
Important dice. You got a natural
Oh,
1 and a
nice.
natural 20. That is the best you could get.
Yeah. You asked about my relation. I know you've heard of the Dead Fields. He is the Dead Fields. So if you remember, way, way back, you guys ran into a group of travelers who dealt in, like, they were circus performers, but they also dealt in, like, news. And they told you a story way up in the north, something called the Dead Fields, where there are just masses of undead that started spawning in for no one can tell why, but they all stand in a perfect grid exactly 20 feet from each other. And long dead creatures rose from the ground, and the only way they were to stop it was dig super deep, find all of the bones, get them out, and then they have to keep a buffer there. And like it's several square miles of this, and he says that it's related to him. Like it's not him, it's another creature somewhat related to him. That's the relation he spoke of.
All right.
Now for your freedom. You all suddenly see that tendril that's been connecting McGear this whole time snap into reality.
I thought we
It
didn't
is
see
now.
it before.
You see it now. It's been connecting him, meta, it's been there, right? Snaps into reality. He has a black tendril in his forehead
Um,
that connects directly to that thing.
McGear?
McGear, you don't hear him. All you hear is an extremely loud ringing in your ears as you are lifted off of your feet by that tendril in your forehead, like head back, being lifted as if a plunger were stuck there and you were lifted straight up. And then pain. You all see black tendrils that now that you can see them, they were always there. You just never noticed them snap through his entire body as if coming into existence, following his nervous system, his blood vessels incorporated into his body.
Oh, nice knowing you.
And then they begin to pull up from the toes and the fingertips, retreating up. You see them sliding underneath the skin. McGear, you feel as if you are being ripped out through your skull. Something is being ripped out of your body and out of your mind. As it pulls out, and eventually one last tendril remains connected before snapping and falling to the ground. The most intense white-hot agony finally ending. After, to you, felt like an eternity, to everyone else lasted maybe 30 seconds of him being just...
I'd like to cast Tylenol.
I can just put myself at 1 HP.
Nah, dude,
It's not that
you're
bad.
getting another lingering wound.
You take 16 points of psychic damage, as this connection is ripped away.
Oh, look, the wizard's at 1 HP.
Also, take away all of your warlock abilities. And hit dice.
Oof.
Replace them with wizard hit dice.
That would be a great thing to do. I didn't get to use hit dice. Let's see it.
Did we ever level the bar?
Let's see here. Awakened Mind. Goodbye, Awakened Mind.
You are all then ushered out. McGear is still like, oh, barely kind of shuffling along from this
If he's like shuffling, I'm just
psychic
gonna pull
trauma.
him up onto the horse.
Yeah, McGear, you're very thankful. You feel tired. You feel drained. You literally just had a connection ripped out of you. It hurt. You all go out into the library. Thank you for your service and welcome to my interdimensional information emporium. Everything is available for purchase for the appropriate price. Again, this is different voices as you walk along, telling all of you this. Like, you can all hear it.
So,
All right, so now we're back out in the library. I looked
Mhm.
at the group. I was like, all right, to catch you up on what just happened. Last time we were here, I accessed a not allowed section to gain information that we needed. This. What do we even call this thing? Just this entity. Yeah. Essentially was the broker of that information, and it came at a cost. And that cost was to give it knowledge for the knowledge it provided, which at the time seemed like a brilliant idea as we needed that. And I did not fully comprehend the ramifications of what that was. Nor did I ask.
just for clarification, we were here to free Alara from a deal she made, and you made a deal with this to get information on her deal.
You should have just left me in my deal.
So, after seeing that, would you have tried to fight that? Do you want to go try that? That would be very
No,
ill-advised.
but I wouldn't have made a deal with it. Probably.
Again, I did not get the full ramifications of what was going on. Point being is that I satisfied my end, and I am now free of my stuff.
So what did
And as part of this, one, I feel awful for a list of things, and physically, mentally. Two, um, he has welcomed us to his information emporium. Given what he is and what is accessible, I would not be surprised if he can literally tell us anything. Emphasis on anything. It will come at a cost, and the more elusive or difficult that information is to attain, the higher the cost. But you can know whatever you want.
so what did you give him to satisfy your end of whatever deal and him to free you?
So just clarification. Are you guys having this conversation in the library? Or are you heading towards the doors?
I have not stopped heading towards the doors, and as soon as I see the light of day and an exit, we are riding like the wind.
Yeah.
You are. What about the rest of the group?
I mean, I'm assuming we're heading towards.
I mean, McGear's on my horse with me, so
What information were you come here for? because we actually came here with a purpose, and now we have access to it. We can literally know whatever we want.
Lara's brain's going, nope, 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 nope.
I mean, that's reasonable. It's a reasonable response.
So they can bring Thule back?
Let's not.
Get out of here,
Masha?
and we can discuss this later. For now, I do not want to be here. Let's go.
So,
You guys do see the doors ahead of you.
is there someone you talk to, like, for the information, or like, do you still have to go looking for it, and then you find out?
If you would like
You
to
would
discuss-
ask us. You like 3 different monks say as you ride past them.
And do we have to pay the cost, like
Yes.
before we get the information, or like, do you tell us what
Yes.
the cost is, and then we can figure out
Now
if we want
we
the
leave.
information?
We can discuss this later.
Yes, but can we get back if we leave?
The doors are not locked. To you. A price will be agreed upon prior to purchase. You will be held accountable, and a contract formed if payment is not available up front.
Now we leave.
Doors right there. Y'all at the doors.
I'm at the door. Please follow. For now, we leave.
Okay, we're leaving.
I feel like Kedron's peeing his pants a little bit. Between this and the dragon, like Kedron's having a rough go. To be fair, this is terrifying. These things are obviously being controlled by that. Also, if you remember, these monks weren't pushovers, like when you met them, like at all. Like
I
they
don't know.
radiated that you definitely shouldn't mess with me, Aura.
What do you think we should do, McGeard?
we should go catch each other up to speed. And as he said, the door is not locked to us. We can go.
Lara's out the door.
Hot
You guys
tail it out.
step out the doors onto this the front porch, essentially, the entrance of this library, and you look out upon Chilling, a city you remember is a little less lively than Flortentia, a little more gray, a little more subdued, but a very nice town, you know, very cheery, smoke from chimneys and all of that. And what you find in front of you instead is a gray sky, of which you can see no sun. The trees that should be in bloom are leafless. The grass is primarily dead. There's smoke from houses. And there are large things moving. Things that tower above the houses, walking through the streets. You see one there, there, all around, scattered throughout, not clumped up, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them perhaps. This town is deathly silent. You guys have pretty high passive perceptions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got stupid passive.
Huh?
Blood. Bodies. Not many bodies, but some. Broken windows, broken doors, broken houses, burnt husks, And as you're looking, one of those bodies laying on the ground in a certain state of decay raises its head and goes and begins to rise. And that's what we'll end tonight's session.
Oh crap!
Bryant.
We will see you all next week for our next installment of The Consequences of Our Own Actions, also known as Deus Vault. I look very much forward to it, and until then, Deus Vault.